I was gonna say, Tanner, just with everything, you've played a lot of positions, man.
Yeah.
Just how was it going from left guard over to right guard? In that second half against Rutgers.
It was a little interesting. I mean, obviously, you're flipping your stance. Your first steps are the exact opposite. Same thing, just opposite sides. But I knew Celts felt more comfortable on the left, and I'd taken a lot of right tackle, worked a lot on the right side throughout the year. So going to right wasn't exactly the worst transition, but it was kind of a fun thing to do in game, flip sides, and now I've played 4 out of 5 positions on the O-line in game, so it's kind of crazy to think about.
Oh, I know. You also played left tackle in fall camp too, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep, so done a little bit of everything. I'm just kind of a guy like, hey, if we need someone to fill in here this week, I'm more than happy to do it. As long as I get a chance to go out there and play with the guys, I want to do whatever I need to do.
When did you realize you may have that versatility to play multiple positions?
I would say, kind of just talking to Coach Rudy, he's like, I think you're a guy that can play both sides well. I mean, you're very athletic. You haven't shown like really one side dominant, and playing center definitely helped with that year one. You're setting to the right, setting to the left, taking steps each way, and I think they kind of put me in a good spot for going into year 2 to be able to play both sides.
When you have that, I guess, like going back to the Rutgers game, just what is the difference between right and left guard for those that, okay, is it just flipping over a switch where it's like, okay, it's like this, but on the different side, or just how different is it?
I wouldn't say it's insanely different. It's just kind of getting that mental switch. Like everything's going to be the complete opposite. Play is going this way. Your footwork's now changed. Your play side. Now I'm playing next to Bruss instead of Beach, and so like they play a little different styles, like style-wise, and so you have to play a style that complements them. And but it was fun to kind of see how that worked out in the game and see how I could adjust on the fly.
Okay, with that, like how are their styles different than between Beach and Bruss?
Bruss is a great physical guy, loves to hit him as hard as he can, so you got to kind of find a way that complements what he does. If he's solid on a reach block, he doesn't like you when you knock it across, and he's very expressive about that. He'll let me know if he doesn't like something I do, and that's something like I love. Like if you don't like it, tell me, and I'll change it and kind of fit what's best for you. And then Beach was a great job, like kind of worked with them all week, and Celts and Furt definitely did a great job helping me get ready for that spot. And although they weren't completely healthy, they played a big part in getting me ready for that.
How many reps before Saturday did you get in practice or before that? At left guard.
I would say probably about 80 full-speed practice reps, and then however many walkthrough reps we had. But it was good. Beach is very helpful this week. Left-hand stance a little different, obviously. Playing a lot of right side this year. But those guys were extremely helpful in nature. I knew what my assignment was. What techniques I needed to be using, what they were going to do to be helping me along with that.
Awesome. I was going to say when it comes to just how you, I guess, what have you seen from your progression from you started, one game last year against Iowa, you played against Indiana when Caden went down. How have you seen your jump, though, from last year to this year in terms of development, progression?
I feel like I've definitely taken a lot of good steps forward. I feel like strength was a big one kind of coming into this year. Last year when I played, I definitely felt like I was having a hard time stopping guys because they were more powerful. But this year I feel a lot more confident in that strength. I feel like confidence all around has been a big part. I feel really good about what I'm doing, what I'm supposed to do on every play. There's never uncertainty. Being a young guy kind of thrown into that role, it's like thrown right into the fire. You're a little panicked, a little like, oh my God, like this is crazy, it's the Big Ten. And this year I'd say just kind of having that background has made me feel a lot more confident going out there, and that's played a big role in kind of what I've been able to do this year.
When it comes to center in general too, just what I would say in terms of asking about that, just how does that help you kind of learn every other position on the line?
Basically, I just kind of have to know what everyone's responsibility is, If you got this many guys on this side, like how are we going to account for that? How are we going to get all the guys with the right assignment, pick everything up? Just kind of being able to learn that, like, hey, this guy has to be here on this play, and seeing how that works and knowing that, hey, this is what they're doing, and then now I come into year 2 knowing where everybody has to be on every play, and it's just a matter of knowing the technique they use to do the job, When I was a center, like, I don't care how they do it as long as they do it. But this year it's like, oh, well, now I'm that guy, so I got to kind of figure out what to do. But it's definitely played a big role in me being able to play this many positions.
I guess, is there a position that you're most comfortable with then, out of the 5 that you've had reps throughout this season?
I mean, I feel good about all of them. I mean, the guys playing around me, they're very helpful in what I need to do. They're always, willing to chip in, like, hey, this is like a technique you should use. I mean, it's always a little different at every spot and a little different next to every guy. But I feel like I can play them all, and whatever the team needs me to do, I'm more than happy to do it for them.
When did you, if it's okay asking, when did you find out that you were going to be starting at left guard then last week?
About Thursday night, I found out. Just kind of working throughout the week. I had a good idea that they were kind of banged up, and I might be in a spot to get some reps on Saturday. But Thursday's all right. Hey, they're not going. This is going to be you. It's exciting. Gives you a little more time to prepare and wired into that spot.
A couple more questions. Between guard and tackle, what are some of the nuances that people may not know about?
I think it's just kind of the personnel types, the body types you're going to be seeing. On the edges, you're going to see a lot more guys with speed, quickness, try to get around you. Hop inside, hop outside. When you go back in the inside, it's a lot of guys that are powerful in your body. They're going to play right into your chest. It's a little different style. Confrontation points are a little different, so sometimes a little bit of a learning curve. I had a couple plays last game I thought were all right, well, that was a tackle set, and got to be more in that guard mindset. But I just say it's the personnel types the biggest difference.
And then, what do you see for early? I know it's still Monday, but what are some of the early things you're seeing from Northwestern and just their front? I know maybe they've given up some yards rushing and whatnot, but what do you see early on from Northwestern and their front?
They're definitely a physical group. They're going to bring that physicality. It's the Big Ten West. And, it's a big rivalry game, I think, for us. Over the years, kind of been tension building. Last year, definitely didn't go the way we wanted to. I think we want to come in with the mindset we got to get these guys back. They're going to be a solid ball club. It's always a tough played ball game. No matter what the record is this year, they're going to give us their best fight. So we got to be ready for that.